So folks that meet us say, oh, so you guys are no-tillers. And I say, no, we're not no-tillers. We're regenerative ag people, enthusiasts. Because no-till is not a system. No-till is one tool that we use. You can't be successful if you think you're going to be a no-tiller, because you have to change your paradigm about what you plant, the diversity, keeping a living root, and especially integrating cattle, because we think that the cattle are the most important thing. I'm going to name drop a few folks that are influential in my life. There's a guy named Jim Garish who came to a grazing school in Watertown, South Dakota, and made us repeat 10 times during his session, "I will not be afraid to waste grass," which is just a real change for us. There's a man out in Western Canada named Steve Kenyon who custom grazes cattle for folks. He has some of his own herd, and he's got sheep now. But he said when people say it takes 1,000 years to add an inch of topsoil, he says, I can increase topsoil by an inch in 7 years through integrating cattle. Those people get me excited, and that's why I enjoy what we're doing. And it's just a whole bunch of fun to have Eli agree with me and get excited about it too.
I got sold from Gabe Brown. When Barry had listened to him before I had, and I think it was about January 2018 when I saw him at a Soil Health Coalition conference, and listening to him talk about what he does, it's a goal. It's great because we know now we have so many things we could accomplish on our farm. It's just, we're always building on it. But when he said that he would bet his farm against anyone's farm, that what he does would work on their farm, I took that as a challenge to prove him right instead of a challenge to prove him wrong. Because why wouldn't you want to be doing what he's doing? And the biggest thing for us, I think, was the context part. You can fail easily at anything if you try, but if you look at your context and you study what your climate is, how things will fit into your system, you can make soil health work on every acre, anywhere. We've lost acres and added acres in the last 10 years. We added a few quarters of heavy soil in this area, and we added another quarter or two of just some really light soil. And our approach is the same. What can we do with soil health on those acres? And we know it's going to work if we just stick to the principles and look at our context of all that. When we did look at our context, we were thinking, okay, we like the cover crops. We want more cover crops. We want to be able to plant as many species as possible every year. And so we were doing spring wheat for small grain, and we realized that we didn't have enough growing season to get the cover crop growth after spring wheat. So one thing we did was we started planting a lot more winter wheat. We're doing a lot of oats this year, just knowing that we can get that crop off earlier and get a cover crop going. We did 17 species this year, just because we know how many pounds an acre of each thing we can add.
So one of the things we did is converted cropland to pasture, and that was a learning experience, but it worked out very well for us. And now we're transitioning that field back into cropland because we can, I guess. We never want to give up the experiments, because every conference we go to, we hear something new that we just got to try on this farm. And I I guess at this point I need to say that without the South Dakota Grassland Coalition and the South Dakota Soil Health Coalition, we probably wouldn't have gotten access to an awful lot of excellent material that we've assimilated. And I appreciate the folks that are willing to go to a conference, stand up in front of a crowd and explain to us what they've been doing.
So we're going to work on staying on this land as long as possible. And you know, we've got the river bottom land. We know none of it's native because sand was really easy to plow. And so we need to work on that land. We know that the previous practices on it had depleted it. What it was before that is what we need to get back to. What the migrating buffalo did to it. We need to replicate that and work with that, and we know it'll be beneficial, and it'll make the land more valuable, and it'll keep my family here, our family here for generations.